Welcome to Real Estate Secrets Unlocked, the podcast that takes you inside the minds of the industry's top professionals, revealing their top secrets to success. I'm your host, Danielle Damianov. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, get ready to learn the latest trends, strategies, and secrets that will help you succeed. Join us as we go beyond the basics and explore what it takes to make it in the world of real estate. So buckle up and get ready for a wild ride. This is Real Estate Secrets Unlocked. Hey everybody, it's Danielle Damianov, and I am here today with Adam McChesney with Height Digital, all the way from St. Louis, right?
Yes, yeah. St. Louis,
out in the cold, and I'm here in sunny Southwest Florida.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, so I'm excited for everybody to be on here because digital marketing and branding and all of that stuff is so important for any profession, but especially for real estate agents. So why don't you tell everybody a little bit about what you do, what your company does, and things like that?
Absolutely. And I appreciate you having me on. Thank you so much, Danielle. It's a pleasure to be here. So I'm an owner partner at Height Digital. We are a full service digital marketing agency. We're actually the only agency in the space right now that operates in a franchise model. So I ran my own agency prior to coming over to Height in 2021, but we do everything from logo, branding, website design, search engine optimization. So ranking the website as well as the Google business listing, along with paid advertising on Google, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And our main focus is really in the local space. We do have some national clients, but our expertise is in helping local businesses of any fashion, including realtors and real estate agencies, be front and center when people are going to look for them. So that might be people that are not necessarily looking to essentially buy or sell their house now, but it could be brand awareness on social media that helps build up the brand over time. Could be some sort of a lead generation strategy with the website and search engine optimization, Google ads, etc. But real estate's obviously a very interesting market. So we work with realtors, we work with real estate investors, and there's so many different ways that people get connected to who eventually they're going to work with. Right. And so we just want our clients to be in a good position at any step of that process to be able to facilitate, obviously, getting their name out there and to generate more leads, close more deals, and sell more houses.
Yeah, it's so important. And a lot of real estate agents get into the business and they don't look at themselves as the CEO of their own business. But truth is, even if they work for another brokerage, which most of them do, they're the CEO of their own business, regardless of if you're working for a Remax, an EXP, Compass, Century 21. Yeah, they're the broker that you work for, but you have to brand yourself, right? And really be able to stand out against all of the other real estate agents that are out there. So it's super, super important. And one of the things that I tell people, especially the real estate agents, is that it doesn't matter if you just started. The best thing is that you can build your authority and being the authority in your market through the content that you're putting out there and through your branding. So let me ask you, what are some of the things that you see as working with realtors or real estate investors that they're using that's working for them to kind of get themselves out there and establish themselves as that authority?
So it's definitely on the branding side with content, and that could be written content in short or long form. It's also obviously video content with everything that's going on, whether it's Reels, YouTube videos, all of those different things. And the key aspect is exactly what you said, is becoming that authority, being top of mind when people are looking to buy or sell their house, and really separating yourself from everyone else that's out there. Because as you also mentioned, they are the CEO of their business and they're in full control of whatever comes their way when it comes to obviously growing and scaling their real estate agency. And I think so many people forget that branding and top of mind awareness has to happen over time. And you can't just make one post like you used to be able to do on Facebook when there was not a lot of competition that's out there. You can't just throw up one ad or a website and hope all of a sudden there's going to be a ton of eyeballs on it. it's very important to have a cadence where you're consistently doing all of this stuff and really repeating what's working and analyzing the data to figure out what's not. So a lot of our clients do a ton of different things, whether it's education, so talking obviously about the crazy real estate market that's going on, bringing in other experts, whether it's mortgage loan people, whether it's insurance agents, contractors of any sort, to help build up the education for their audience. I
Yeah.
think that's what people are really looking for when they're trying to hire someone that's authoritative and an expert. They want to know, and they want to have that peace of mind when they're hiring a real estate agent for whatever the transaction might be, that they're in the right hands. And then that real estate agent has the proper teams in place in order to be able to facilitate those other teams. Because a lot of people will go to their real estate agent and be like, hey, I need X, Y, and Z as well. And they want to make sure that they have trusted partners in their ecosystem to be able to help keep that same level of authority, that same level of expertise, et cetera. The next aspect is really getting reviews and customer testimonials.
Mhm.
So I think that's one of the most underserved pieces in literally any business, but especially in the real estate space, is having people provide video testimonials that you can repurpose on your website, you can repurpose on social media, you can also throw ad dollars behind it, and then also get those written Google reviews on Google and both Facebook, and having them not just be like the typical 5-star review. If
Right.
you go above and beyond and set those expectations, so we tell our clients, and we do the same thing in our businesses, is set the expectations for what the process is going to look like, and set the expectation that if you do everything that you say you're going to do and the client has an amazing experience, just ask on the front end, would you be willing to provide us a testimonial in X, Y, and Z? And everybody's going to say yes. And then you meet your expectations with the client, and then you exceed, and then they write a very well thought out review. They provide a very customer driven experience testimonial. And those are things that speak volumes and then get you connected with more people just like them.
100%. And social proof is huge. And so
Huge.
I talk to real estate agents all the time that, will go on a presentation, and that listed, that seller may have those, reviews printed out for you to see them, especially whether they're good or they're not good, right? So making sure that obviously you're taking care of your clients, but social proof through through online testimonials is huge, and making sure you have those Google reviews. And how would you recommend people, because you mentioned video testimonials, which I love, I think that's awesome, but let's say somebody doesn't have a company, right? And so like Height Digital working for them, how would you recommend they go about getting video testimonials from their clients?
So most of the time, like, we don't do video as a service that we offer. And when we have client testimonials, we work with a lot of our clients over Zoom. But a lot of our clients that we do meet in person, we'll just do it on our iPhones, and we'll just ask for a quick customer testimonial. Ideally, we can have somebody else taking the video. So then that way myself or someone on my team can be asking questions about their
Right.
experience to really drive the conversation and make the video testimonial even better than it could be without it. And so I think that's just such a key aspect, is we overcomplicate the simple things. And so a lot
Right.
of people are like, hey, I want this to be super, super professional and put together. But like, our iPhone is literally capable of doing so many different things out there. And I think just getting started in asking for those reviews and then figuring out what needs to happen in terms of editing, things like that. I think just getting started with it is the most important thing.
Well, and I 100% and consistency. And
Oh
so
yeah.
like a lot of people will, do something once and then expect results from it, but it doesn't happen like that. So the more content you put out, the more consistent you are with it. In terms of like putting out content on social, what are some of, in your opinion, the best platforms that you have seen people generating, leads and deals for the real estate agents and the investors?
So typically it's going to be on social media, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. We do a lot of stuff on Google as well, but that's normally a lot more expensive. And it's also like when they're in the moment, right? So they're like waiting way too late and they're going to do a Google search. And then at that point, again, it becomes expensive, whether it's pay per click or SEO or all those different things. where you can get a very quality lead over time organically through social media. So when you produce a ton of content and you really become that authority in the space, people just come to know you, even if they've never met you. And so whether you then throw ad dollars behind certain campaigns, I know a lot of people get a lot of leads when they have an open house and they're really trying to build up the showings and things like that, that they'll put some ad dollars behind that. That will increase the obviously the traffic of that open house, but then also increase the lead flow for potential people that are looking to buy a house. And
Right.
so it's taking the momentum of things that you're already doing and again, seeing what works and then doubling down on that. But I don't think that most people think that way. They're wanting the get quick stuff. They're like, hey, I want to put 100, 200, $300 in and hope that they're going to get X, Y, and Z out. And it's not that that's not true to a degree, but it's also going to be the most expensive way that that happens. Because if you're looking at in your shoes and somebody doesn't know a realtor, if you were sitting there and I try to put myself in our client shoes and anybody that I talk to shoes, if I didn't know a real estate agent and I filled out something online and that was the only time I saw them, and then there were automations and there were all those different things to beginning that interaction and that customer potential experience, I would not be nearly as likely to actually move forward with that agent as if I had seen their content for the last 6 months. And now I'm in the market. Now I do see their ad and everything compounds. So I
Right.
think social media and the consistency between organic and paid is the best bang for your buck.
Yeah, absolutely. So if someone's, let's just say, paying for online ads and doesn't have a ton of money, right? They don't have a ton of money to throw into, let's Facebook ads, for example.
Mhm.
What would you suggest to them in terms of obviously putting out their own stuff that's not paid, right? Content for organic. And then what type of program or would you suggest that they do if they only have, let's just say, I don't know, $300-400 a month to spend, maybe 200 on that type of stuff?
So I would say exactly what you mentioned is build up the organic side and then boost different posts on those platforms through the ads manager on Facebook or Instagram specifically, and then really drive home that video content. So I think the education piece is hands down going to be the biggest thing with these algorithms, especially like diving into TikTok and YouTube, things like that. The videos that tend to take off the most are the ones that are providing information that people are seeking. It's
Right.
not necessarily the promoting of yourself that's taking off or anything like that. It's talking about the things that most people won't talk about. And the people that truly take off in these online environments are the ones that are providing the most value without asking for anything in return. So if you can put out that content, and then once, like we just had a client in the real estate investment space, they were having a lot of success with one of their reels when they were talking about a house that they flipped and that they were going to then sell. And it was getting so much interaction. And I'm like, just put some money behind it. And it's super simple and easy for them to do that. So that way it can get more views. But I think a
Right.
lot of times people just start putting out content and they're like, hey, we're going to start putting money behind it. And you never know if it's going to take off or not. So you don't want to throw money at something that might not necessarily be getting the eyeballs that you want.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah, I can tell you anything I need to know how to do. I go to YouTube and I just put it in YouTube. Now we have Chat GPT, so I can put it in there, but
Amazing.
anything, yeah, anything that I need to know, I'm like, YouTube is my go-to. Do you run YouTube ads and would you recommend them?
So we do run them. We are a little bit new to that platform. It is on the Google search network. So obviously Google owns YouTube. It really comes down to the quality of the content that we have from our clients. So a lot of our clients don't have a ton of money usually to invest in all of these different videos and things like that. So we tend to really just stick to Google and Facebook and Instagram, but they're very effective. It's going to be a lower cost per engagement, click, phone call, lead, etc. But at the same time, it's also something that you really need to have quality stuff behind. So we don't normally do a lot of it. I would say like less than 5% of our clients are on YouTube specifically. I think just putting out the organic content on YouTube is a great start. And then if you're having a lot of success there, it might make sense to invest further into some videos, someone to actually do them professionally, and
Yeah.
then throw ad dollars behind them.
Yeah, no, I've noticed. I mean, the video game on YouTube has really stepped up, because before, when I used to post, videos on YouTube, it was like, oh, I have my thumbnail, then there was me. Now I'm looking at some people's videos and I'm like, holy crap, this is like a video production where it's like super awesome,
Yeah.
so you definitely have to step up your game with the video content if you're doing it on YouTube. So what are talk to me about, and I might sound like ignorant or whatever, but search engine optimization, because I hear the word all the time, right? I even have in my CRM, oh, blah, blah, blah for SEO. And I'm like, okay, I know what it is, but how important is it? And what are some of the ways people can utilize SEO without having to pay somebody to do SEO?
Yeah, absolutely. So it depends on what type of website you have. So in the real estate space, obviously there's so many different platforms that websites are built on. Sometimes it's through, a larger parent company. Sometimes it's just a small website. There's so many different aspects that go into that. Not to mention SEO is really tough to get to that first page of Google, just in any industry, but especially in the real estate market, because you have realtor.com, you have Zillow, you have all those people that are spending tons of money to get there. So we don't tend to necessarily focus on that with a lot of our clients. But if you were to do that, some of the things that would drive it forward is creating more content for the website. So a lot of times in the real estate space, that's going to be blogs. So writing blog articles based on key aspects and trends in the market, based on frequently asked questions. So I always tell people, ask your last 10 clients and your best 10 clients some key things of why they chose to work with you, as well as some key things that made the decision process of what house that they were going to buy or why they sold. So that way you have a list of ongoing questions that you can then write blogs about. You can then take those same topics and you can also write long and short form content on social media about it, make videos about it, et cetera. So there's a whole content game. Kind of going off on a tangent there, but I think a lot of people complain that they don't know what to talk about on social media, and your clients are your best opportunities, or potential clients are your best opportunities for those ideas. And then when it comes to search engine optimization as well, the Google business listing is equally as important. So
Okay.
making sure that you're posting to the platform at least once a week, so they kind of have their own social media network on there. There's not profiles or anything like that outside of your Google business listing, but when people are searching and you're creating consistently and posting on the platform once a week, it goes a long way. And then making sure that you're having people leave reviews is huge. And again, not just talking about that, not just having someone leave a 5-star review and saying, this agent's amazing, but having a very thought out review goes 10 times further than having 10 generic reviews. And what I
Right.
mean by that is having them explain why they chose you as their real estate agent. Specifically, this is huge, but in St. Louis, for example, it's a massive city, no different than any large city that's out there. Most people associate St. Louis with all the suburbs that are around it. But when people are trying to rank for keywords, they're doing real estate, agent St. Louis, realtor near me, et cetera. So if you can explain in the review, you can have your clients explain in the review the suburbs that you were looking for, and then where you ended up actually buying or selling your house. And then also some key things that you were looking for throughout the process and why you chose them to be your real estate agent. That has a ton more search engine optimization value with one review than just 10 generic ones.
Right. So what you could do actually is, when you send them the testimonial, would you do a testimonial for me, blah, blah, blah. And would you mind including in that testimonial the answers, to these top 4 questions or whatever. And so that way they can you got to guide people and tell them exactly what to do, because no one's going to do a lengthy, testimonial, but that's such a good point. So SEO is basically getting you ranked higher on Google.
Yes. So
Okay.
it's the website and the Google business listing. And I look at it as more of like going to the gym. So it's more that long-term play, because you're adding content, whether it's your Google business listing or your website, but it's helping Google understand on a very simplistic level what keywords you're trying to rank for and where you're located.
Right. And so any real estate agent out there, which I don't think they realize, is they can create a Google My Business listing.
Yes.
I mean, and they can use their house, right, as
Mhm.
the address. If they don't have an office address or whatever, they can use their home. And then all of the testimonials and stuff like that you want to put on there. I did not realize, to be honest with you, that you are supposed to continue to post onto your Google My Business. And someone had said to me the other day, they're like, you know what? I started getting a lot more ranking or whatever by posting pictures, like pictures of sold homes. So I was
Yes.
like, that's such a good idea. I'm gonna have my virtual assistant just once a week. Okay, these are the closings for the week. Post these homes. I didn't even realize like that's what we should be doing. So on top of posting on all of the other platforms, a continuous post on that. I thought it was kind of like you put it out, set it, forget it, don't go back to it. It's just there.
Yeah, no. So you want to make sure that you're consistently putting that information out there, especially the pictures with the homes that are being sold, anything like that, and then explaining in detail, what was specific about the house, what sold for, all those different things can really go a long way when people are looking in the map section for realtors and houses near them.
So then is there an app on your phone for Google My Business, or are you using your computer to like upload and put all that stuff on there?
Yeah, we mostly use the computer. So there is an app. It's changed a bunch. So it used to be Google My Business. Now it's called Google Business Profile. So they did a rebrand on that. And the app used to be very friendly and used to be able to use everything in there. But now most of the time we're going to the computer just for ease of use. And it's honestly not that easy to do on the phone anymore.
Yeah, totally understand. So with the websites that you do for the agents, is it more every agent out there, okay, thinks they need a website? And to be honest with you, they really don't need a website. What they do need is, because if someone's looking for a home, the odds of them going to your website to search your, they're probably going to go to realtor.com or Zillow or, maybe even like a larger, like a Remax type of thing, right?
Mhm.
So, what they do need though is a lead capture, like landing page with automation and stuff like that. So is that some of the stuff that you provide? And can you talk a little bit about like lead capture, landing pages, automation, aside from just, having a website?
Yeah, absolutely. So when real estate agents or agencies come to us, sometimes they are looking for that fully built out website. Other people are just looking for those landing pages. And there's not a right or a wrong answer, but you definitely need some sort of automation behind a capture driven website or a landing page. So whether that is just a landing page one off, or it is just a website that is just, hey, we're just trying to capture your information. We'll be reaching out shortly. That is so key because people can get very bogged down with a lot of information. And they can also go in and then they start doing searches. And the next thing you know, they're on like 50 different listings and they're tied to all these different websites. And then they forget where they actually came and started at. So you want to make sure that even if you have all of those properties and you have all the abilities to search on your website, that at the very beginning, that there is a place for them to submit their information. So that way you capture their information. So often it takes forever for someone to actually leave their information because they don't know where to go on the website. And so if you just have that single landing page, that is more than enough to be able to have someone leave their information on that contact form, whether it's sign up for a newsletter or they want someone to contact them. You can then make sure that that ties into your CRM. You can make sure that once they fill that information out, they get a text message, they get an email, they get links to your social media, YouTube channels, all of those different things. So that is more important, as you mentioned, than actually having some big, robust website that 99% of people aren't going to use because they're going somewhere else.
Absolutely. So what tips would you have, I guess, for anybody, whether it's branding or, your online presence or anything like that? What tips would you have for them to either, kind of like get going or, really expand their brand? Because I always tell that the agents, people do business, and this is the awesome thing about social media is that but when I was first started out, we didn't have this. Like, I think we had MySpace. I don't know, but we definitely didn't have what we have today. And so you really had to make that human connection, right, with the people, whether it was through door knocking and cold calling and all of that stuff. Well, it's gotten a lot easier now because you can build your brand online and build that authority online without, having to do all of that extra stuff. So what are some of the tips that you would have for any agent, to really kind of get out there and start building that authority or build their brand?
So I think first and foremost is you can't overthink it. So as you mentioned, like just getting started, if you've never done it before, you have to get started in some sort of capacity to see what you like talking about on social media and how you like branding yourself versus what you don't like. I think one of the other things is that most people don't truly know in the real estate space what their ideal client looks like. So I've gone to so many different networking meetings where there's a ton of real estate agents. And when they ask the real estate agent, hey, give us your 60-second pitch about who you are, what you do, and what type of client that you're looking for. And I get it. It's been a very competitive market, especially here in St. Louis, where they're like, I'm looking for anybody that is looking to buy or sell a home.
Buy, sell, or invest.
Yes. And that's just a very surface level answer, because if
Yes.
I gave you 10 really complicated people that were looking to, essentially just shop around and do all those different things and they weren't ready to buy now, you would hate that.
Right.
You want to get very, very clear about who your ideal client is, what their family size looks like, how many kids they have, what type of bed to bath combination that they're looking for, the specific areas that they want to buy and not buy, how much they're looking to spend on the low and the top end, and any specific features that they're looking for in the house. Because then you can brand yourself as the go-to agent for that specific client.
Right.
So many people that are out there are just doing surface level branding, which then gets them surface level results and surface level leads.
I love that. That's so important. And one of the things that you said that I bring this up a lot too, is that action brings clarity. And inaction brings confusion. And a lot of times agents have analysis paralysis because they don't know what to do. So they do nothing. And so when you do nothing, you're confused. So as long as you're taking action on a daily, consistent basis, you're going to figure out who your ideal client is. Maybe you're working with first-time home buyers and you realize, you know what? First-time home buyers is not for me, right? I would rather work with blah, blah, blah. So if you're not taking that action, you're never going to know. And that's why you get that service level answer from a lot of real estate agents. That surface level answer is an answer of a newer agent. They don't know, right? They don't know what they want. They don't know what they don't know. And they're not taking enough action to actually figure out what they want.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%.
So yeah, so that's awesome. So anyways, thank you so much for being on. I really appreciate it. There's so much information, and building your online authority, is huge through branding, through, websites, through Google My Business, which everybody should go out and get a Google My Business page now. And post on it, which I will be. I've definitely learned several things in this podcast, because I didn't know that I thought I just said it, forget it. There I am. If you're in the area and you need a, mortgage person, I'm right over here. So I will start, definitely posting on that, because that should get me higher, right? Or get me more visible. Okay.
Yep. Get you more views, get you more interaction, having you come up for different things as well.
Yeah. Awesome. So, really having all of these different platforms online so that more people can follow you. And that's what's really going to separate you from every other agent out there, and figuring out your dream, your avatar or your dream client, so you can start to focus, and a lot of your posts can be targeted towards that. So all of that, the testimonials with, having it be a little bit more in depth, instead of just kind of a surface, oh, she was great to work with, she sold my home, whatever, 5-star, right? Yeah. So what else am I missing? Did we pretty much cover like everything, or is there anything else that was a pro tip here?
I think we covered pretty much everything. So I think the two different aspects, to kind of wrap it up, of what the foundation stuff is there's branding and then there's lead generation. The two go hand in hand, but you can't have one without the other. I think a lot of times people consider them to be one thing, but you can have an amazing brand and not fulfill on the lead generation. You can have a ton of leads coming in, but not have the brand. So make sure that you can decipher those two different things, get very clear on those different objectives. And that's where you have a lot of success. That's where things start to come into play, because once you've built that brand and you have the lead generation side going together, when the leads come in and they see you all over social media, and they've been seeing you all over social media, they're like, this is who I need to hire. This is who I need to work with.
Right. Yeah, no, what you just said is, I mean, and I use different terminology, but it's the same exact thing. Marketing and sales. A lot of people think sales and marketing is the same thing, right? Oh, sales and marketing. It's not. Marketing is marketing and sales is sales. And you could have killer marketing, right? Killer copy, killer this, killer that. But if you don't have the sales skills or the automation or the lead follow-up to be able to capitalize on that marketing, and vice versa, you could be awesome at sales, but no marketing. I mean, so the two of them really go hand in hand, and realizing that they're two separate things. It's not the same, right? So you have to get good at both.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, no, awesome. Thank you so much. All of your information is going to be here. So if anybody wants to not go it alone, which I recommend you don't, because the busier you get, you have to outsource all of that stuff, and you have a professional that can build the brand and build it all for you. So I will have all of your information here if anybody wants to reach out. And thank you so much. It was fun. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on. It was a great episode.
Yes. Well, that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Real Estate Secrets Unlocked. Don't forget to subscribe to our show on your favorite platform, and we would love your feedback. Check us out on social and let me know what topics you want more of. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and our show. I'm your host, Danielle Damianov, and until next time, stay motivated, stay excited, and keep growing in this crazy world of real estate. Thanks for listening to Real Estate Secrets Unlocked.